Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Guthix Rest. This is Guthix Rest, episode number 11.
Jesus.
It is just me and Birdfacts.
Hello, that's me and Birdfacts.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, 11 episodes. We're past the 10 episode hump.
That's almost 3 months now we've been doing this stupid thing.
Yeah, people seem to enjoy it.
It's weird to think about.
Yeah. I've been having a good time with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it.
It's fun.
I mean, it's like, the only thing I was saying is just right now doing the video edits doesn't feel particularly inspired to me, but we'll see how that progresses
it's just,
over time.
Yeah. It's not a super creative thing to put images over,
Which is why
your previous self talking.
When I
like, the creative part is the podcast.
Yeah. And then I was DMing you, like, I'd find any excuse to, like, sidetrack myself and make some stupid meme. I made the sad DKs and the warrior ring.
Yeah, I think, like, you'd have fun if you'd made, like, a YouTube series of some sort.
Yeah,
I don't know what it would be, but
when we always did video projects back in school, I always kind of liked it. I don't mind the video editing part. It's just I need to be a little more involved with the editing. For the editing for this, it's basically just citing our sources or like finding screenshots of relevant information. It's not particularly exciting. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind the video editing process. It just takes a long time because these are long episodes. And as I've discussed to you before, I really like the final result of the video edits that I make. I think they look very nice. I think, that the relevant information is shown. And it's, the editing is clean, I think, but it takes forever. And at the end of the day, this is a podcast. You're mostly just here to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, we've had people say, like, oh, we should post it to YouTube, but honestly, I think, like,
part of the problem is that I've set such a high standard for myself with these edits, and I don't want to not do that, which is part of the reason why I was okay with you having someone else edit them. Because I was like, well, then it's not my fault if they're bad or good. Not my problem.
Yeah, by the way, we have an editor now. Or a temporary editor, at least. We had someone reach out to us and ask if they could edit some of the video versions, get us caught up, and we came to an agreement, and they put out one episode. They have another in the works right now, but should help us get caught up to present day, at least.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's probably listening. As far as I understand, he actually does listen to the podcast. I might steal my job back. I don't know. We'll see. It might just be a temporary gig for you. Sorry, pal. But it's definitely appreciated. I hope you're learning some stuff, because I learned a new video editing program to start learning the. I
mean, he's learning a new program.
Yeah, exactly.
Too,
so. I totally get where he's coming from. I respect the hustle, and I hope he's enjoying it. But like I've said, I have stopped enjoying it after 3 edits, because it doesn't feel particularly fulfilling.
Like, once we're caught up to, like, present day,
it probably won't be that bad.
We just want to, like, go forward and just do, like, really just a background and a logo. I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
but
I think at the very least it would be worth doing that, because then we still capture an audience that wants to listen to it on YouTube. Because I think there are people that exclusively, like, go on YouTube and listen to podcasts on YouTube. So
yeah, I mean,
might as well capture
I do it for
audience.
The WAN show.
Yeah,
like I have the WAN show as, like, a podcast in my feed. I usually just skip it on my feed, and when I want to watch the WAN show, I put it on my other monitor while I do other stuff.
Yeah.
There's plenty of podcasts that do it that way. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. There's still plenty of video to be editing, so we'll see. But yeah, on the topic of doing a YouTube series, I have, like, a private, air quotes private, YouTube channel that is, like, my main channel that I browse on nowadays. So it has, like, all my my algorithm that's tailored to me. I recommends the shit that I want. Yeah. And then I also have what I would consider to be, like, a front facing public Birdfacts channel that I uploaded one meme to and have done nothing else with it since. I have considered making more memes. I had an idea for one a couple days ago. You know the when you close your eyes meme that was kind of popular like probably almost a year ago now, it feels like?
No, I'm not familiar with this.
The song that's like, when you close your eyes, does it almost seem like nothing changed at all?
Oh, yeah.
You know how when you do a construction contract and you leave and it just goes away?
That's a banger, dude.
I thought about it. I might do that before this episode gets published so that nobody steals my idea.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
just
only have one.
I felt like just doing stupid shit like that, you know. Maybe I'll start
Yeah.
publishing dumb shit like that.
Yeah, fucking go for it, dude. I only have one YouTube channel. It's just like my. Technically, I have more, but that's just because I have multiple Google accounts, and they, you know, happen to also be owned by Google. So
yeah.
But I only have one YouTube channel that I use. And there's like some Song in the Myron speedruns that
classic.
I posted.
Dude, on episode 3, we were talking about like because that was the Who episode. We were talking about like what kind of games we liked, and I did like my mild tangent on how when people talk about indie games, they're like forced to talk about the popular ones. Otherwise, everybody's like, "You're going schizo, dude. What are these games even?"
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned Song of the Myron. I was like putting up like box art for all the games.
Did you put up my speedrun time?
No, I didn't. I went and found. I had to go find box art for Song of the Myron, which is like non-existent because it's a digital only game. Yeah. So I had to like find like, I think it had a soundtrack release that I just like stole that picture from, and I just thought that was silly.
Yeah, it's certainly a game.
I did go back and look at the speedrun.com page for that, and I saw you and Sam and stuff there. I was like, it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and also Song.
Yep.
But yeah, those were good times. You know, way back when we did those speedruns. I kind of miss it, but you know, no one's gonna go back and play some shitty indie game.
I've been watching Critical do the Only Up speedruns. I don't know if you know anything about Only Up. It's the
it's like a Chinese game, right?
Yeah, it's the Chinese Getting Over It clone, essentially.
Yeah.
Except
but
it's in
like
3D.
No saves or anything.
Yeah, no saves. It's in 3D, and it's just like, it's essentially a Unity asset flip.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Like, I saw it and I'm just like, holy Unity asset flip.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been watching him just like do speedruns. His first time was like, his first time actually doing like a speedrun, I think, was like just under 3 hours. And then he got that under just above 2 hours. And then like the next day he got it to like, I think sub 1 hour, and I think like close to 30 minutes. And I don't know, man. I could, even for quick speedruns, it's just like, for me, the appeal would be like chasing for that number 1 spot, and I'm not willing to put in that kind of effort. There's always going to be people that are way fucking better than me.
I mean, I did during like the beta of why can't I remember the game? It's the like PS1 graphics, like you're a robot going through fucking hell and heaven.
Oh, Ultra Kill.
Ultra Kill, yes, thank you. Yeah, I did some Ultra Kill speedruns, and it turns out I'm not good at that game compared to like speedrunners, but there's a meme category for one of the individual levels where you get the secret ending, and you do that by like flipping a coin into a well. This. And so I just spent like 2 days just grinding the shit out of that.
I distinctly remember you doing that.
Yeah, I got number 1 for like a day, and then I lost it. But I was just like, yep, I'm content with that. I love, stupid meme categories.
Yeah, I still haven't played.
And I have no idea like how he was faster than me. I'm just like, yeah, we did about the same thing, but yeah. But that's all in the past. What have you been up to this week? Slightly less in the past.
Yeah. These are in no particular I think these might be in chronological order. I don't even know. I had a Drake's task at one point or another. And at like 23 KC, I got a Drake's Tooth. So that's kind of cool.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I think those are like one in 256 or one in 512. I can't remember which one of those they are. I think they're 512. And it's the Drake's Tooth, which can be used to make the Devout Boots. So it's the one that's actually useful at all.
Yeah, what's the other one
It's the claw that gives you the Guardian Boots.
Oh, I mean...
Worthless. If you're... Completely worthless.
Oh, you're right. It's worthless on an iron. You're right.
And I have the Elite Diary done, so they wouldn't even be useful as, like, better Boots of Stone. Or not...
Yeah.
Or Guardian Boots are the Tourmaline Core one. I'm thinking of Brimstone Boots. Boots of Brimstone.
Brimstone Boots. Oh, those are pointless.
Yeah, those are just bad. Guardian Boots at least have some niche application, but...
Yeah, they're tank boots. I was gonna be like, yeah, just rock up with your Denny B and your
Justy. Let's go.
in your Justy,
Someday.
I'm sure you have all that, right?
Surely someday. Yeah, no, I got
We'll just send more cocks so you can get the dens.
Yeah, I want to do some more chambers at some point, but I want to get that stupid piece of shit hammer. But yeah, Drake's Tooth, cool. Now I just need to get Holy Sandals. Probably not going to happen. Not going to grind for those. If that ever happens, awesome. I might use those. Like, I know some people use those in the Inferno because having high prayer bonus is nice.
And range
Pegasians
boots
are kind of
yeah. I was doing a cannon task earlier with my favorite item, the Venator bow, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna wear my holy sandals because I'm not. I don't care about my range bonus,
Yeah, that's fair.
I almost brought the holy wraps too, but I was like, maybe that's a little much. Pharaoh's gloves are pretty good.
They do be pretty good.
Yeah.
Then I got a DK's boss task. Not a Dagonoth task, an actual boss task for DKs, which feels like such a waste of a boss task, man. You couldn't give me a more interesting boss. Come on.
And you can only do
50.
A third of the...
For me, because so you're doing hard done. Whereas a regular Dagonoth task is like, above 100, 150, somewhere in there. So...
Yeah, so you're doing, 17 rotations?
Yeah.
16 rotations of the 3? You're not even getting that much KC.
So instead,
I had a DK task recently.
I used it as an excuse to get all the combat achievements, which I did pretty quickly. I think I only died like once or twice just trying to flick the bosses, because you have to kill all 3 of them within 9 seconds of each other.
Ooh.
So what I did...
That's pretty tough.
What I did is... I actually just wore melee tank gear. I wore a Torag's top and a Verax bottom. Just to try. I think I was also wearing my Imbued Ring of Suffering, just as much like tankiness as I could realistically. And then I think I got Rex low and Supreme low, or whatever, the mage, the mage one, melee and mage, yeah. Because there's a achievement for killing, I think, Rex and another Dagonoth King at the same time. So I got those two
on the same tick.
Yeah, I got the 2 of them on the same game tick. Yeah, so I got the 2 of them low, and then I got green. I got green one low, ish, and then I chinchomped the 2 of them. I chinchomped Red and Rex, and then I just bofed green, and got both of those CAs done at once.
Hell yeah.
And then the ones where it's like, kill this Dagonoth while under attack by the other 2. That one's just a game of flicking. Just flick your prayers.
I think it wants you to kill the mage first, and I always kill the mage last when I enter the room.
I always kill green guy first.
I kill the ranger, and then I kill Rex.
Yeah, I think that's the standard rotation.
Yeah. So I think the next time I get a DK's task, I'll just do it that way.
Yeah.
Because
it wasn't too bad, honestly. I only died one time. I died because I was low health and no food, but I killed 2 of them like within extremely rapid succession. or I killed one and I had the other two low, so I was like, oh, maybe I can get the thing for you kill all of them quickly. And I think I missed a flick and Mage got me. It hit me like a fucking 43 because of course he did.
Yeah. Because he just
died
like a fucking dump truck.
Yeah, he died the same game tick he killed me, and then green guy was like 1 hit point, and I was like, fuck, man.
Damn. That's so upsetting.
Yeah, it was annoying, but I came back in tank gear and got it first try, so it wasn't too bad. It was a little frustrating. No circle. I wish I had that for that elite step. I've dropped that elite step so many times at this point.
That's annoying. It might just be worth it to camp DKs if you really need it.
I thought about it. The only reason I had so many elites was because I was doing like Zulrah, right?
Oh yeah.
At this point, my elite income is not nearly as high as it was.
Because they're rare as fuck.
Yeah, I might be camping Barrows soon. Because
it'd be worth it for that.
Yeah, I kind of want to camp Barrows.
You need Arams, right?
Yeah, I need the Arams top and bottom, and I want to get the Darox top and bottom as well, so I can just like camp Nightmare Zone with Darox. And just go ham on the melees, because why not?
Are you 99 hit points?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the Darox would be better than Obsidian.
It kind of sucks that I got full obby, and I made a Berserker necklace. I did quite a few hours of Nightmare Zone training with that. So
I mean, you can loan it to Julian.
It didn't go to complete waste, and theoretically, like, I can loan it out.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high DPS loadout, so...
Yeah.
But, yeah, at this point, it's more efficient for me to just rock the Darox up in there instead. And at this point, I kind of just want to camp 99 strength, you know? Because
I mean,
DPS.
It's a good thing to have.
Yeah.
And then you can just focus, whenever you're doing like Slayer on getting attack and defense.
Yeah, I've been in No Monkey stream too much. Every once in a while, someone will ask, "Hey, should I trade my stats?" And he's like, "Yes, obviously." And every time I hear that, I'm like, man, I need to do that.
Yeah. I mean, like, a good way to train your stats is doing Toa. That point multiplier.
Yeah.
Pretty big.
A lot of it's range DPS, though.
That's true.
And, 99 range. But speaking of 99s, I have 99 cooking now.
Well, congrats.
I
had almost 99.
I had like almost 5 million XP in wines after I finished the Zora grind. So I just did that, and that almost got me to 99. And then I just finished it off with like my stack of 1 trillion uncooked Karambwans that I have. And my brother got 99 cooking at the same time. So now he has 2 99s.
Hell yeah. What? Wait, oh, his first one was fishing.
Yes.
Right? I was there.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of
Anything else exciting this week?
I think I got a Guthix Helm back to back into an Aram staff. My second Aram staff.
Aram staff, not very pog. Guthix Helm, pretty pog. Guthix set is nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see a collection log slot. I don't know if I'll ever use Guthix anywhere.
Really?
To be honest.
Even at gargoyles or something?
I don't know. Gargoyles isn't that far from a teleport. I feel like I'm better off just banking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The thing with gargoyles though is that it's like quite a run from the teleport.
I don't know. It doesn't seem that far.
Like, because you have to go up the tower if you're going there, or if you're on Slayer Task down, and, like, around.
I do remember it being nice when I had it on my main. I had like a Guthix set and I used it at gargoyles. So maybe I'm just like on copium. But I don't know.
Listen, you just sit there and you just heal with your Guthix, and then you put back your Slayer gear on.
That's exactly what I used to do.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
But yeah, I'm more interested in getting the. It's really annoying. My Barrows log at this point. I got full Torags. That was the full set I got to complete my Master Clue step, and then I've gotten a lot of Verax pieces, except for the flail, and then Guthix, Darox, and Arams. I'm missing the top and bottom.
Ooh,
and it's just rough. Like, come on, man. I don't know. I mean, what can you do? 450 KC, I think, right now. So whatever. It's sparrows. At the end of the day, I'm not really that upset. My 6 Darox Great Axes kind of pissed me off, though.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying. Like,
it's money.
On a
if
main,
I was a main,
you're just like, yeah, you're like, ooh, money. But on an iron, you're just like, fuck, I guess Alks? Like, I don't know.
I'm just keeping them. I don't even care.
I feel like on an iron, I would utilize Death's Coffer way more.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I like being a hoarder and just having like a shit ton of stuff in my bank.
That's fair.
Just seeing the bank value thing be higher every time I get something is just cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much just like hoarding stuff. And the other thing with using Death's Coffer on an iron is you gotta remember, dying as an Ironman is 50% cheaper than dying as a main.
I always forget that. That's so stupid.
It's so weird.
Like, I know, haha, irons can't get money, but they also can't spend money anywhere. Like,
no, that's not true. We can spend money to get 99 fletching.
Okay. Wait, spend money to get fletching? How?
Yeah, broad bolts.
Oh, okay.
That's like one of the most common ways, I think, for Ironmen to get broad bolts, or to get fletching XPs. They just buy broad bolts.
I don't know, that seems weird.
See also Kingdom and Miscellanea.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, haha, do Kingdom and get maples.
Yeah, you can do that too. That's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Slow as heck, but...
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing much else going on in my world, I don't think. I got a Black Demon's task. Time to go to the Zenite dimension. Maybe I'll get a Zenite. And then if I do, I'll have to train crafting again. Which means I have to gather sand, because...
Oh boy, the best grind on an Ironman.
I have infinite giant seaweed, but the opposite of infinite sand.
I mean, you don't have 99 mining yet, so, time to go 2-tick sand or something.
Yeah. Oh, I got 90 herblore as well. That's kind of big.
Oh, nice.
Now I can
That's
make
pretty
overloads.
big, yeah. Hell yeah.
So I don't necessarily have to leech an overload every time I do a raid.
Nice. Yeah, we should definitely send some raids, because I know there's people in like Petscape or TNL that would be down to raid.
Yeah, that one night I did TUA after you left. Someone else came in the chat.
Yeah, I saw you were in there for...
We did chambers after you left.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
I think we only did like 1 or 2, but...
Yeah, I mean, you guys were in there for quite a while after I left. But, cool. My week has been... not super interesting. I got the Thermi pet.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which is cool. Yeah.
You said you would never go dry for a pet, but I distinctly remember that you went dry for Chompy Chick.
We don't talk about Chompy Chick, okay? It's the only thing I've gone dry for on this account in terms of pets. Yeah. I've been spooned every other pet. 3 rock golems.
I feel like that's just how it is, man. Like...
Yeah.
Either, like, if you... I don't know. If you get a pet, it feels like most of the time, people that have pets are spooned. Not always. But I feel like even someone like Itzwill that pet hunts, like, most of the pets are pretty spooned. Not all of them. Looking at you, like, Nightmare and KQ.
Thermi.
But, like, most of his pets, realistically, he got pretty decently under rate. And, that's just RNG, I guess. It's just how it be.
Yeah, I mean,
RNG giveth and RNG taketh away.
Yeah, I mean, the longer you play on an account and the more bossing you do, the more likely you are to not get the spooned pets,
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because, like, at that point, you've gotten your spooned pets, and now you're just, going for the pets that you're going dry on.
True.
So, but unless you're I got that at 2000.
Unless you're like some guy that's like never done Sire, because Sire sucks and that's reasonable.
Sire does suck, yeah.
I went to do that boss like one time. I think I already talked about this, but I went there like one time and I was like, I don't want to be here. This boss is stupid. I still don't fully understand the Sire mechanics, and I just choose not to understand. I don't care.
I don't know.
What am I gonna do? Get a bludgeon? Wow, I'm so excited.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like nowadays the rewards from Sire aren't that great, you know? And
it's because it was...
the boss just kind of sucks.
I mean, because this kind of somewhat transitions into the news post about Ruinous Powers, the way they were talking about power creep. If you think about it, right, a boss like Sire was just like a direct upgrade that eventually got outclassed by a different direct upgrade. Yeah. Whereas something like Hydra, it's a side grade. It's the Dragon Hunter Lance.
Yeah.
It's good in a specific area, so it's less vulnerable to power creep. So
that's true. I mean, but even like the Lance has been power crept by the Fang just being good everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Lance is still better at dragons, obviously, but even if you have a Fang, it's comparable. Worse, but comparable. Yeah. And if your RNG's good enough, sometimes it's better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know, before they nerfed it, Fang was just better
that
against
was
most
up.
dragons. But no, I got the Thermi pet, and then I've just been doing skilling, and, you know, right after we finish this episode, I'll probably go get 99 Slayer. I'm
Epic.
Pretty close, so...
I think I'm like a pixel off of 91 Slayer, and then I might consider unblocking Hellhounds.
Nice, hell yeah! Get yourself some Pegasions.
Dude, I don't want to do Serb.
Obviously, you just got to go do Corp. Get yourself in, not an Elysian,
the Spectral, I think.
Spectral, yeah. Get yourself a Spectral Spirit Shield.
Yeah, but that requires me to
make that.
That requires me to both get a Dragon Warhammer and get a BGS, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but those are both grinds.
You don't need the Warhammer.
Technically not, no, but
it would be terrible.
even to get, I was gonna say to get BGS, I should have a hammer, but not really, because I could just learn the Bofa only, don't take damage strats like I did at Zami.
Oh, yeah, the Red X, like, 7-0 fucking...
Yeah, I tried to do that one a long time ago when I was less good at the game, and I couldn't figure it out. The Zami one is actually super easy. You walk in a straight line the whole time. You don't have to, like, click in certain areas. The Zami one's super easy. I really like that one. There might be a better one.
I don't know why
there might be a better one for
work.
Grador. Yeah. I feel like I've seen someone else's tile markers that were in a straight line. I think, I don't know. I'm not going to say some shit that's just wrong. There's probably another method. I'd have to look it up. I'd have to go see. But the method I tried to learn a couple years back was just so confusing to me. There were so many places you had to click. It was the one Will used, I think, where you used like a cannon base in order to red X in a certain spot, or you could just drop an item there instead.
It's like the 7-0 or whatever.
Yeah, cannon's better though because it stays on the ground longer, obviously.
Yeah, it stays for like 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I might look into it. Or I might just wait for Julian to get better stats, and then I can just duo God Wars Dungeon. I could just make him tank or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who would tank in that situation. The
problem is I would be the best tank, but I'm also the better DPS.
Yeah. I think you'd have to calculate what's going to be the most kills per hour, and I assume it's like having the better stats person tank, because they'll still output the most DPS, right?
I don't think so.
Like, even if they're wearing tank gear? I don't know.
Because I think if I were to DPS, I'd just use Bofa, wouldn't I?
Probably.
And I don't think I'd be tanking with Bofa.
No. Yeah, I guess you couldn't trade him over that gear, so...
Yeah, I can't trade him over that. I don't think he could equip it regardless.
True.
But, like, I can give him, like, Barrow's gear. I can't give him my Ring of Suffering imbued, because it's imbued. And I don't want to unimbue it. And then even if I unimbue it, he has to go imbue it, re-imbue it. Dude, I wish they would make, like, imbued and charged items tradable in GIM. It would make the game mode a little more unique.
Yeah.
I know that this is, like, a weird fucking GIM complaint.
I mean, they talked about letting untradables be tradable, and
I think it got voted no.
That. Did it?
Was the thing.
That's lame.
But it's like, I forget who I was talking to. It was one of the guys. It might have been Griggsy. It might have been someone else in TNL. But they were playing on a group iron, and you have to uncharge your blowpipe in order to trade it around, right? I don't know if you've heard this story. They went to...
Did he dismantle it?
Yeah, he dismantled it. So they lost their blowpipe.
Oh my god. There's like a warning and everything.
Yeah, I mean, skill issue, but
yeah,
this wouldn't have been a problem if we could just like trade charged items. I feel like it'd make the game mode a lot more interesting and more fun for the few people that engage with it. I'm always told that GIM's like a dead game mode, but I swear to God, I see these motherfuckers everywhere.
I mean, it's dead to like the fucking tryhard like Reddit posters, or not Reddit posters, but it's dead to like the tryhard like, you know, sweats.
Yeah, I guess that's like the people I talk to is a lot of like the kind of higher level community type people in like Petscape and shit. And even in like TNL, most of the people I talk to are like the kind of higher level people.
Yeah, I mean, even in TNL though, there's like plenty of like high level GIMs.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know
even Green Helms.
I see them all the time. It's like this game mode doesn't seem dead at all. I feel like we're just saying it's dead. I feel like the people that are saying it's dead are regular Ironmen that just assume it's dead.
Yeah, I mean, like the average Green Helm isn't using like the account services to trade stuff.
I'm always going to bash on Green Helms because, like, from my perspective, because if I was a Green Helm, basically my achievements mean nothing because I can do that, right?
Yeah.
The fact that I can have just gone and bought these, it's the same thing with a main, right? Like when I see a main that has, you know, a bunch of, you know, expensive gear, I'm just like, cool, you got a bunch of money. That's just the way I play the game, you know. I respect going out and getting the item yourself. That's what I put value in it. That's why I wanted to play Ironman. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing with that, you know? There's nothing wrong with enjoying the game a different way.
I personally don't care about getting the gear myself. I want to see the collection log eventually, but I'm gonna use a fucking Fang before I get it in my, you know, myself. I'm gonna wear a Sang before I do Tob. You know, speaking of which, I did Tobs.
Yeah, and you don't have your death plugin on.
No, I don't. I have it on now, and I got yelled at about it
because I was spying on VC text. And I saw that the TOA mistakes stuff. And then I was like, oh, Spyre's in there. I don't believe that he didn't die. And then I saw Raikeen's death, and I saw you in the jail cell. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah, no, we did 2 raids. I died at P2 Verzik both times, because I, for the life of me, cannot figure out the timing on that walk.
Oh, yeah. I surprisingly just got it immediately.
I just can't figure... Like, it's, like, 5 tick or something.
I think Maury told me that there was, like, a sound cue, and I just immediately got it once he told me that.
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you what it was, because, like I said, I only have the one KC, my one deathless KC. Pog, let's go.
Yeah, I have 2 death KC now.
And notably, I'd like to say my KC, Big Red Man, was in that one, and he died at P2, but we still clutched it.
Nice, hell yeah. Yeah, no, I did 2 raids, was annoyed because I died at P2 Verzik both times, and then I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do a raid I do know. So I went and did a 300 Toa. And then I got to fucking Aka's cum phase, and I got greedy and I fucking died, so I just went to bed angry. And I was just like, fuck.
Average.
But today we did a raid and it was fine.
Yeah, honestly, that's the only reason I want to have Yellow Gem before I do like higher invos, is because if I do some like extraordinary fuck up, I don't want to just have to chug brews. I want to just be able to click yellow, stop worrying about it, and then prayer up.
I bring brews specifically for cum phase, and I was like, I'm gonna use this fucking brew for cum phase, but I shouldn't have, because I was doing a 300 solo, so you take like a shit ton of damage if you get hit. So while trying to brew up, I just got hit again and died. I was like, cool. Yeah, I should have just fucking Karist. But, Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really done a whole lot this week besides just, like, skilling and rating.
Yeah, another thing I was going to say about Tob.
On the max grind.
P2 is kind of notoriously difficult to get correct. And then P3, obviously, is also, there's a lot going on. As resident Gauntlet enjoyer, P3 wasn't extremely difficult for me to understand. I understand why Kiwi and some other people saw that I had like a lot of Gauntlet and were like, oh, this guy could probably do Tob. And I was terrified because I'd always heard that Tob was like the hardest shit in the entire world. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. It's very difficult, don't get me wrong.
I think the thing that I'm struggling with at Tob is just like there's no good way for me to like learn.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to continue this with, right? Is because I'm resident Gauntlet enjoyer, I have like some point of experience to reference, but even that's not directly applicable, right? There's similar skills, but there are notable differences.
I'm not even getting to that part. I'm dying at.
But yeah, that's the other thing, right? Is it's very frustrating to just die and not be able to practice that thing, which is why entry mode is kind of nice.
But entry mode, doesn't it like fuck up with mechanics and shit?
Specifically, Nilo's is different. Nilo's is shitty. They've changed most of entry mode to be the same so that you can actually use it to learn. P2 Verzik is exactly the same, thankfully. I don't know if exactly the same. There might be mild differences. But the timing of the walking is the same. So you can get used to that.
Okay. Maybe I'll do that. Archelon suggested I just walk in with a fucking iron scimitar and just go to town.
Yeah. That was part of the reason.
I might do that.
That one night we did entries with Archelon and Mori, and then you left, and then we actually did Tob. That was where I learned how to walk, and I got it down pretty fast.
I would like to learn Tob more, but
I want to go back, but I need a hammer. I'm not letting myself go back till I get a hammer.
Yeah.
And maybe a template,
I still
too. That'd be awesome.
Really like Toa, and I've learned Cox recently, so I want to send more Cox.
Yeah, Chambers is really fun. I know a lot of people hate Chambers because, like, for example, Mudder Room is just a tank test, basically. A lot of the rooms are really simple.
A lot of the rooms are just kind of... Yeah, the rooms are just tank or, abuse the mechanics so you don't take any damage.
Yeah. I personally, I kind of like it. It feels very RuneScape to me. It's the first raid I did, right? TOA didn't really exist, so I did a lot of Cox. So it has a bit of rose-tinted glasses for me, definitely.
I guess TOA is the same way. You just tank or abuse a mechanic to avoid damage.
There's a little more going on in TOA, though, let's be honest. Except for the Ulm fight, I think, is still a masterpiece.
Ulm is a fun fight. That's the only reason I really want to do Cox.
Yeah, Ulm's awesome. And Tecton's kind of fun, too. I like running circles around Tecton. That's fun.
That's okay. I do want to try to get some people that will be willing to like do some of the weird rooms because there's a lot of combat achievements for them.
Yeah,
like Vespula and.
If I had actually gotten a Hasta or a Zamorakian spear and turned it into a Hasta instead of a steam battle staff, I'd be more willing to do like Vasa. But the problem is I have to bring a stab weapon for Vasa, and that's a dragon sword for me right now.
Yeah.
Not the greatest.
I mean, obviously, you just need to go burst like 10,000 Abbey demons and get yourself a abyssal dagger.
Yeah, apparently that's good now. Because is the spec just 25 everywhere now?
Yeah, it's just 25 everywhere now.
Cool.
It's still theoretically worse DPS than a dagger, a dragon dagger, but it's much more accurate, so...
Right, yeah.
Because Abbey Dagger has higher accuracy. The Abyssal Dagger spec hits lower than the Dragon Dagger spec, because the Dragon Dagger spec increases the damage.
It doesn't have the increased max hit. I see.
Yeah,
I knew nothing about the Abbey Dagger, I'll be honest.
Lowers your max hit?
Weird.
I want to say, but you hit twice. I could be wrong about that.
It might just be it doesn't change your max hit at all or something. Whereas I think DDS increases damage.
It's 25% increased accuracy with a 15% reduced damage.
Interesting.
Yeah, but like there's the version that you get from BH, which I think does not reduce the damage. Oh no, it's only 5% reduced damage.
Yeah, apparently that thing slaps
So,
in BH.
Yeah, I've seen it just roll people. Speaking of BH, there's a bit of a bug there right now.
Oh, yeah?
Everywhere in the game, but it was just discovered. So if you...
Oh, is this the Venge thing? Yeah.
Yeah, you can override the Venge animation
with, like, stomp.
with an emote.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the stomp specifically. I was in chat and someone was like, oh yeah, you do like the blow kiss to do it. I'm like, yeah, that works, but like you could also just do the stomp, which is way more subtle. And they're like, you can stomp? I was like, yeah, you know, it has a little stampy like, waves.
Yeah, I was I think it might be on his second channel, but Framed had a video where he I think Goody was teaching him how to do that, and he was like, this is so dumb.
Yeah, I watched it. it was very dumb. I didn't realize that was Goody teaching him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Goody's voice.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been doing anything else this week. Just, you know, continuing working on max. You know, my brain isn't just, I need to max, and if it's not working towards max, then, you know, what am I doing? Like, I started working on some combat achievement stuff. I did a few of them. I did, like, Fragment of Saren speedrun. I killed Hespori with no prayer.
Oh, yeah, I need
and I did one other task. I don't remember what it was. I went and killed Skatizo with a Chinchompa blast.
I remember doing that in leagues.
And I was just like, cool, yep. I've done those. And then I started looking at the other combat achievements. Yeah, I have 8 right now.
I was saving them up because, like, when I got my first one, I was like, oh, that's right, Skatizo has combat achievements now. And I can't really do these yet, so I'd rather keep these until I'm capable of doing them, just in case I fuck it up and I need more chances. So now I have, like, 12 sitting around, because I've just never done any of them, basically.
Yeah, so I did those combat achievements, and then I was like, okay, what other ones can I do? And then, like, most of them are, like, do Tob or Cox or...
There's... I was running into a
God Wars, and I'm just like,
problem.
Fuck.
Yeah. I want to get to Elite, just because the increased superior chance pops off.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, I don't want to do any of these.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like God Wars Dungeon. I think God Wars Dungeon's real stinky. I don't want to do Tob stuff because, like, I actually have to, like, get good at Tob. I've done all the easy Toa stuff. The Cox stuff that I can do, I have done, but, like, I need people that want to do Cox and do, like, the rooms that are annoying, and no one wants to do that. There's, like, some Dagnoths ones I can do. There's, like, Zulrah,
the Dagnoth
KC I can do. Yeah. There was one, like, the Dragon Slayer 2 speedrun thing.
Oh, Galvek,
and then Yeah, Galvek and Gloff speedruns that I could do.
Just go buy yourself a ZCB and just fuck up Galvek, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably do those at some point soon, but, like, I was like, okay, I'm pretty close to the elites, but not close enough for me to, like, do these really annoying tasks, because that's not getting me towards max.
Yeah,
so.
It's not really worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking through it. I went, I was awake at, like, it was like a Tuesday evening. I guess it was Wednesday morning at, like, 1 a.m. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go smash out all the, like, Wildy Boss ones that I need. All the, like, Scorpia, Chaos Elemental. I think that was the only 2 I did. Because I already had the Crazy Archaeologist and Chaos Fanatic ones. I needed to do the Scorpia and the Chaos Elite ones. And I ran into Skillless Lee from Petscape doing Chaos Elemental.
Nice.
Just, I think by chance, he...
Oh, yeah, I saw that conversation in chat.
Yeah, I'm still not really sure. I think we were just happened to be doing it on the same world. So that was kind of interesting.
That's funny.
But yeah, I finished all the weird ones, like Chaos Elemental. You have to do one where you flinch him the whole kill. You just take no damage the whole kill. That was kind of annoying. Just took forever.
Yeah, it just takes a while. It's not hard.
So yeah, I just finished all those really obscure ones. Because I think the Venonatius, Callisto, and Vedion, I think they only have KC combat achievements. And I'm just like, well, I'll just get those eventually. I think I actually have the Callisto and Vedion ones. I've just like basically never done Venonatius.
Yeah, I have Callisto.
I think I have one spindle kill to my name for the
Venonatius.
diary.
I have Vedion. Yeah, so I've got those already done. I have like the Zolcano one where you had to like do a bunch of games in a row perfectly, 5.
Oh yeah,
and I always get to like 4 and then fuck it up.
I think I did.
So
I think you were there. I think I did it on like literally my first 5 Zolcano kills.
Yeah, you did. I was just like, God, I suck at this game. I get like complacent like by kill 3, and then by kill 4, I'm like really reclined and fuck it up.
My brother, he's working on the Song of the Elves requirements right now, and he's interested in doing some Zolcano. So when he shows up here, I'll let you know, and you can get some more chances at that. I'd love to get a tool seed drop. I don't really need it, but it would just be kind of cool to have.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting the pet.
And then Julian, I think his new goal is he wants to get 99 mining as his first 99. So he was asking me about
someone that did it.
Yeah, he was asking me about volcanic mine, and I was like, yeah, it's really good XP, and if you want me to teach you, I'll do it because I don't mind the mining XP. And he was like, yeah, I want a dragon pickaxe, and I'm like, good luck.
Yeah,
it's
not
possible
getting it from there,
but
yeah,
I'm not paying for it either. You're gonna need to get that 2.5 mil yourself, bud.
Yeah, I would recommend him not doing that.
Yeah, no, I told him. Don't be there for the pickaxe. Be there for the mining XP. It's really good. And then he asked me if
he wants the pickaxe, he should go do like Vedion.
Yeah, Vedion or Callisto. Just join like Callisto masses.
He should. Well, he should do the small Vedion. He should do Calvarion.
Nah, I'll be a bitch. Pull up with like a couple other boys to Vedion. Him and I could go together. It'd be awesome.
Fair. Yeah.
I don't know. I did a little bit of Calvarion. It's kind of nice that you get like big drops since you're soloing the entire kill.
Yeah.
I just don't care. I'd rather just get fast kills, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather pull up with the boys.
Yeah. And if you don't really care about like the Voidwaker pieces, I think the smaller bosses are better to solo anyways. Because they have like way less HP.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd rather just pull up with the gang, kill the big ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the big ones are way more fun to kill with the boys.
Feels a lot more
really
fun.
Anything in this game is way more fun with the boys.
It's just more enjoyable with friends.
Yeah. Like, I feel bad for people that don't do raids or don't do any sort of group content. Like, the game gets so much more fun when you can start doing things with other people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because, like, I don't know if you saw the Plank screenshot. I think we were talking about this last week. I don't remember, but I did TOA with my brother and Julian.
Yeah, I saw that,
and
I think we talked about
it. They had a good time, you know. They said it was a lot of fun, and it's like, yeah, I'd expected so much, but they were struggling.
Yeah,
I think I said it last time
when you guys were doing it, so I did not get to watch.
Yeah, but I left. I think I genuinely blanking if I talked about this last time, but I left feeling special off, and Julian still died to the Simon Says mechanic. It's just funny to me.
Like, how was he just didn't remember?
He was just clicking too slow. I learned later that he didn't have any form of F keys on. So he was clicking his inventory like you used to do.
Yeah.
And so I showed him the magic of key remapping from Runelight.
Yeah, I mean, I would never hit the actual F keys. Those are fucking.
I don't even think Julian can. I think his keyboard doesn't have F keys. So like.
Yeah, it puts my hand in just a really awkward space at the top of my keyboard.
I don't understand why the main setting menu doesn't just allow you to press any button on your fucking keyboard. Come on, guys.
I was listening to 9 Rain on the Save cast at work today, and they were talking about, like, you know, hey, there should be an RS4, and when it comes out, it should just be, like, old school, you know, tick system, you know, with, you know, leaning more into, like, the medieval fantasy, that all that stuff doesn't matter. But, they also said, like, we should be able to rebind F keys. And I'm like, you can already do that with a plugin, but I agree, it definitely should just be in the base game. I don't understand why it's not.
I'm sure it's because spaghetti code game, but fix the spaghetti code, please. Thank you.
Yeah, it's annoying. But I think now is a good time for us to head to break, because we've been rambling on for a good while now, and we have some game update stuff to talk about.
Wow.
This week's episode was sponsored by the Theater of Blood and by Verzik. Head into the Theater of Blood and be taunted by Lady Verzik as she runs you through a gauntlet of creatures in her menagerie.
This week's episode was also sponsored by spaghetti. We love spaghetti.
Yum.
It's twisted, it's tangled, it's got sauce, and sometimes it even has meatballs.
Welcome back, everybody.
Whoa.
This week, we've had an announcement that came out.
It sure is an announcement.
Like, a few days ago.
One of the announcements of all time.
It caught a lot of people by surprise.
I guess I was surprised.
Yeah,
in a way, I was surprised to hear the news, but I'm not surprised of the contents of the news. You know, it's not particularly surprising that this kind of thing would happen, but I didn't think it actually would.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, the Ruinous Powers are dead. They're gone.
Well,
they're not going to be released
for now
with Desert Treasure 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shelved is the right word.
Yeah.
They are considering options for either the Ruinous Powers or some kind of prayer expansion in the future. However, as of right now, they will not be releasing with Desert Treasure 2 anymore. I was very sad to hear this. It's probably the right move. But Desert Treasure 2 feels like it's just in kind of not an awesome spot anymore.
Well, okay, so I'll get into that once we've kind of gone over what they mentioned.
So I'm just going to read the TLDR part because they put out a really long blog post. It goes into, like, you know, they have a section about power creep in old school. They have a section about the future of Ruinous Powers, but they also just have a little TLDR, a couple bullet points here at the top that I'll real quickly go through. And if some of them warrant us chatting about it immediately afterwards, we will do so.
Yeah.
Item the first. Many players feel like the Ruinous Powers are effectively just the standard prayers with some slightly tweaked numbers. We don't get the sense that many players are excited for them in the way you'd expect players to be excited about a power increase like this. For similar reasons, item the second, the Ruinous Powers we have now don't really match up with our initial vision of it for a new prayer book. This was the most important point to me. Because
yeah, I mean, the initial vision was risk versus reward, and with the second beta, they kind of lost a lot of that.
Yeah. With even
the first beta didn't really have that.
Yeah, the first beta didn't feel like super risk versus reward. The only super risk factor was like, oh, you can't use this at Jads because you take 10% damage. And like taking 10% damage, we were like, okay, you know, that there is some more risk involved with that. And even with the second one, like maybe you could argue
overhead accuracy prayer, but that
even with the second edition of the overheads for defensives, you could argue like, okay, well, you know, there is more risk because if you take damage off prayer, you're taking more damage. But in my opinion, I think as I discussed last time, it wasn't really that much more, all things considered. And it mostly became, you know, item the first. It was just the standard prayer book, but an upgrade. Because essentially it would become the prayer book that you used when you were more confident with the activity.
Mm-hmm.
Item the third. While power creep isn't inherently bad, this iteration of the new prayers feels like power creep just for the sake of power creep, rather than anything that's solving new problems. Item the fourth, we didn't properly anticipate the volume of work required to deliver on the community's desire for new prayers properly. With all that we know now, we'd approach this subject with a similar level of attention and detail as the communications we've done with sailing and the new skill process. This one,
it makes
I'd like
sense
to talk about, right? It makes sense. And I don't think I ever said it on the podcast, but I had discussed it before. It felt very interesting to me that a new skill was getting like this entire huge multi-month, possibly upwards of year-long process to be added to the game. Whereas this new prayer book was being added with, it was kind of just like, oh, we'll just figure it out. We'll just add it for the new quest, We
and like,
and in my opinion,
prayers interact with every part of the game.
In my opinion, right, the new skill and a new prayer book have the same impact on the game, right? But in just kind of different sectors, right?
Yeah.
The new skill has arguably the same impact as a new prayer book, but it just in a different way. They don't impact the same part of the game, but I would argue they have a similar amount of impact. So it always felt very strange to me that we weren't getting more communication about the Ruinous Prayers. But what can you do? That's that ship has sailed, and there's another ship sailing in the background, hopefully on the right path.
The sailing looks good. I think
as of right now, I really hope that ship passes. I think they're doing an awesome job so far. Obviously, I think tomorrow morning, like I said earlier, I think tomorrow morning they're having the next Discord stages thing.
Which I'm never able to participate in.
No, because it's at fucking 5 a.m. for us. And you're like going to work at that time, and I'm hella asleep by that time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure it's cool, but I don't really care. Obviously, the results that are coming out are good, and I have a place to voice my opinion, even though like maybe 6 people hear it. It's right here. So, yeah. So I'm just going to continue down the list of these. I think we kind of we had our little tangent there. Item the whatever this number is.
5.
We'd rather not risk sacrificing the quality of everything else that makes up Desert Treasure 2: The Fallen Empire this close to this release. I take issue with this.
Would you rather they delay it?
No. My issue is that I'm still mad they nerfed Virtus robes.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like they've already, because I feel like they nerfed Virtus robes because it felt like we were getting too large of a power increase with the amount of power the Virtus robes had and the Ruinous Prayer Book.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so I feel like we're still in a gimped state here. I want Virtus robes as they were
angrily
initially
tweet
set.
the JMods.
Yeah, I was actually super excited for Virtus robes having the passives and then the gems having the increased effectiveness of that particular thing, and so you could stack them on top of each other. That was cool, and now we don't have that anymore.
Yeah,
and that's just fair. Disappointing to me. That's why I feel like at this point I'll finish the last 2, but I'll talk about my feelings on Desert Treasure 2 as a whole now. Item the 6th now. We're open to suggestions of adding prayers that do things players were excited about, example, mixing things up significantly in PvP, to the standard prayer book, if that's something more players would like to see us explore. This mixing things up significantly in PvP thing, I'm confused by.
Because it seemed like PvPers...
What prayer specifically are they referencing here? Because Framed took extreme issue with Rebuke.
Yeah, they hated the entire thing.
That's not true. But I don't think every PvPer was too upset by this. Like, because realistically, like, I think max hit of AGS with
AGS and a Gmail was like 100 plus, like 120 or something.
Because AGS max gear, and reminder, you're in max gear to do this. Just putting that out there. Max gear AGS was a 90, which is high.
Yeah, that's gross.
But you're also in max using this prayer book. However, as Frame demonstrated in his, I think it was on his second channel, Rebuke was crazy. You'd take more damage with Rebuke on if you AGS someone with Rebuke with Venge, you'd take more damage from your own AGS spec than you. Than
a
they
recoil
did.
ring on.
You didn't even need the recoil. The recoil added even more to that.
Yeah.
But it's
you
like
can one-shot yourself, and
it was ridiculous.
What the fuck?
It was actually insane.
Yeah.
I think that was the real problem, child. I definitely agree with Framed on that.
I don't know. I haven't seen any PvPer that's like, yeah, I can't wait to get like one shot all the time by just random bullshit.
That already happens.
I know. But
that's
like,
PvP. That's just what it is already. I don't understand that argument. I'm sorry. PvP mostly always has just been wait until you can randomly one-shot your enemy because the game is an RNG fest. That's what the game is.
Yeah.
You deal random amounts of damage and randomly hit your enemies.
It seems like PvPers aren't really fans of just like, the increased max hit power creep.
I mean, but I don't think it's any different than the way that PVMers are not particularly interested in that like kind of increase for no reason,
Yeah.
I don't think it's any different. Obviously,
I don't know.
It theoretically has more of effective.
What they were excited by.
I don't know what the mixing things up in significantly in PvP thing is. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Maybe they thought Rebuke was a significant mix-up. I don't really know. Maybe Ruinous Smite was doing something. Who knows?
I don't know. Wasn't it just normal Smite? Didn't they change it?
No, I don't think they changed that one at all.
Okay, it was still Vindication. The Smite that...
It was Vindication.
Okay,
that changed to just be the normal one, which I've gone on time and time again. That was where the whole Ruinous Powers kind of losing an identity became very clear. They literally outright said that their solution to Vindication not being as useful as Redemption in many cases and being too powerful in others was to just make it Redemption. And somehow we're now surprised that this prayer book lost its identity.
Yeah.
Of course it did. You were stripping its identity from it.
Well, okay, so I think the problem... I think we can properly get into this now.
Yeah, let me just run through the seventh one real quick.
Yeah.
This isn't us closing the door on the new prayers, or on new prayers, the new prayer books, or other additions to prayer entirely, and we'll let you know when the time feels right to have these conversations again. So, not out of the question entirely, but just this edition of Ruinous Prayers, not going to happen for Desert Treasure 2.
So, I think the problem with a new prayer book is that the game is built around having a few core prayers, and that's going to be your protection prayers, redemption at certain content, and then having some sort of damage increase, right? So you're limiting your design space a lot by requiring those prayers, and they have to function basically identically to the base game, or the base prayer book, or they're going to be, it's not going to be viable to use.
Yeah.
Because like we saw with every iteration of the protection prayers, that like unless it was reducing 100% damage, it was kind of
because our options were
not usable.
Our options were take chip damage and deal a bit of damage as recoil, lose a shit ton of prayer points all the time, or what we had at the end, just take more damage off prayer. And none of those are particularly exciting changes that make them significantly different than regular prayers.
Yeah, and like people want just like the RS3 curses, but the RS3 curses are just like the regular prayers but better, with
and then we immediately just get back to power creep for the sake of power creep.
Yeah. I think
without an evolution of combat, you can't really do too much against, the standard prayer book.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Like the standard prayer book is already so strong. It's so good. Like,
and the entire game has just been built around it existing.
Rigor continues to be like the best range upgrade you can get.
Yeah, that's arguably the best,
bar none,
account upgrade you can get in terms of PBM is unlocking Rigor. It's crazy.
Yeah, like we're not gonna get things that are more powerful than this without like making an insane prayer book, and I think we can get into like the Reddit post that I saw, the god alignments.
Do you know
so
who
the
this
god
was made by?
alignments.
I feel like it's probably worth shouting them out.
So the god alignments was a Reddit post made by Ninja Gamer 1337. Great account
Insane name. Yeah. That shit goes hard.
And so it was a concept where we would get a new row at the bottom of our prayer book that would be aligned to different gods. It would be 4 new prayers that you could put in there.
And I think saying 4 new prayers is not particularly important. This could be any number of new prayers, but just like a small amount of them. Yeah,
and so funny. They also snuck in Trinitas at the bottom of the regular prayer book. Yeah, I mean, if they want to add Trinitas, sure, just make it after all the other prayers. Yeah, don't shift anything around,
and don't shove it in. Like, don't do that thing where you like try and when you do bring this to polls, don't ask, hey, in the same question, hey, do you want these and also Trinitas? Pull those separately.
Yeah. I think there is a place for Trinitas. Like, I don't remember what I was doing. I was doing, demonics, and swapping my prayers was annoying.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just learned to switch your prayers.
I mean, yeah, but I'm lazy.
I get it. And it's definitely a very elitist take from me. But
the problem was, I was like 1 or 2 hitting. Yeah, you just hit 50 demonics.
You hit 50 plus damage on them every single hit, so you have to change your entire gear in prayer. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, it's annoying. But anyways, so there's different alignments, and for their example, they have Guthixian, Saradominus, Serenus, Zamorakian, Temekanian, Armadillian, Cerishian, and Bandosian. And they just kind of like made up icons or stole icons from like
from various places.
Yeah, from various places.
For example, as a more direct example, right? Their example for the Zerosian alignment was the 4 vows that they proposed.
Yeah.
Prayers that are... the idea behind this, I think, is that you would get 4 prayers that are like completely unique, not... like maybe they could be just like direct upgrades, but the idea is you'd have to choose between these small sets of new prayers.
Yeah, and I think like this is good design space because like if you do end up designing a prayer that's maybe OP, it's not an entire prayer book of OP prayers, it's just one of 4 or maybe all 4 or whatever that are OP, and it's like not dictating, it's not like taking over the whole prayer book,
Yeah.
But like even like I think you can create some interesting niches with some of these, like the Armadillian one, your favorite god.
The bird prayer.
Yeah, like
I don't know what that one does, but I want to pray that.
Yeah, it probably has something to do with ranging and
for audio listeners, he like Sparre said, there's like a bunch of different icons that he made. Post. He made a bunch of different icons for these, and one of them is just like a pixel art of a bird. I want to use that one.
Yeah.
I don't know what it does. I just want to use it.
Yeah, I mean, like, he doesn't specify, like, what any of these does.
And it doesn't matter, right? The idea is just, we can unlock a new set of small amounts of prayers and still have access to the standard prayer book, right? You don't have to change the entire prayer book as it exists because basically everything in the game is already built around that. Instead, add a small amount. I think, it is genuinely a pretty good idea. My only worry for these would be like, some of them getting power creeped out of usefulness if there became too many of these, but that probably wouldn't become too much of an issue, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean,
like, obviously, if the Armadillian one was like useless everywhere, I would be sad because I just want the Armadillo one to be good. And this I feel like especially if these have like, the gods tied to them, there would be some amount of tribalism attached to these. People would want to rep their favorite god. And it would be sad if your favorite god has a shitty alignment,
Yeah, I think they like the intent with these, at least like according to the author in the comments, was like you spec into like different things, kind of like you would in like an MMO, like you'd have like different roles, and you kind of already get that at like TOB, with like some people bringing like more mage
have
gear,
your freezer, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like
theoretically, this could solve a future issue. You know, their ideas they want to solve future issues. This could solve a future issue of they want to make raids where people have to like actually designate roles, because obviously that is a space in the MMO field that people seem to like. So maybe they want to try and incorporate something like that into old school. This could theoretically be a way for them to do that.
I always thought it would be cool, like, you know, you go into a raid and someone has to range, someone has to melee, someone has to, I don't remember what I said first, major range, whatever the third one is. And so, like, you know, this could be a way to do that, because, like, you know, clearly the Armadillion one's going to be range-based, right? It looks like the Bandosian one's about, like, reducing defenses or something, maybe. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Like
Guthixian looks like protection and healing stuff. That'd be cool. We don't have like a healer role in RuneScape. There's no way to like heal your allies, really. That'd be kind of sick. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they do with all these mechanics wise.
Yeah.
That would definitely be something I would have to think about for a longer period of time.
Saradamus looks like it would be like a tank or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to pray bird. I just want to click on the bird prayer. I want to camp that prayer 24/7.
Yeah, I think this has a lot of design space that they can mess around with. And like Mod Kieran replied to the Reddit post and was like, this is a brilliant idea. And, you know, he wants to... He's gonna save this thread and like use it for when they like, you know, do future discussions on the prayer book.
Yeah, I think that this is a good idea, and even if it's not implemented exactly like this, I think that just this idea existing and the JMods being aware of it is probably going to be a benefit to whatever we see next in terms of a prayer expansion. Yeah,
I think this is the way that it should go, because then we don't have to worry about like protection prayers, and we don't have to worry about, you know, we don't have to reinvent rigor, augury, and piety, you know. Like, I mean, maybe we should get something better than augury, but, you know, for the other two, you know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here.
All right, we need to add another scroll to the game, and it should just make augury give 2% mage strength.
I would be fine with that.
It'd be kind of weird. You already have to unlock augury, and then you could get another scroll that makes augury a little bit better. I mean, it'd be a lot better, but...
We already do that with items.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess. I don't know.
It would be odd. I don't disagree. But I'm just trying to justify why they should do that.
If we got, for example, if we got exactly the god alignment system, right? It'd kind of be a Band-Aid fix for one of the alignments to be like, hey, you get mage %.
Yeah. I mean, none of those clearly give you mage anyways, though.
Zamorakian.
So, Zamorakian, you're right.
Zamorakian, in the way that it currently looks, it has the symbols for Annihilate, Decimate, and Vaporize. That would be terrible. Yeah. That one would become the best everywhere.
Yeah, that should not be. What's that last one? That's like the next, that's explode in a big AoE.
Yeah, that's the Retribution upgrade. That one can be on there. I'm fine with that. Yeah. I want explosive prayers in the game. This shit's funny.
There was a popular clip that went around of Ignoble Solid. He's a streamer and member of the based After Dark, and he was doing Nex, and he got a Nihil Horn.
Yeah, I heard
and
about
fucking
this.
died to that. So he did not get his Nihil Horn.
Yep, his team got it and split it out normally. Sucks.
I think it was mostly Ironmen. I don't know if there was any mains really in the room.
I don't know for sure, but Archie told me that people just picked it up and split it.
Gotcha. That's so sad, though.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. He completed Nex, though. He just needs to get another Nihil Horn.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I don't know. I think like there should be a way to upgrade augury, because right now it's bad. Or maybe they just buff augury. Like, I'd be fine with that too.
Oh, but
you know,
I don't know. Somebody would be mad about it.
It would add value to Augury. Augury would the scroll for it would just shoot up in price because
new players would start complaining about it being too expensive now.
I don't care. Fucking go buy it or don't. But the price of it shouldn't dictate whether or not they buff it, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I know people call it fucking toilet paper, but...
No, the toilet paper is the preserve scroll.
Oh, my bad. Preserve should be buffed, too.
What?
100% longer.
What would preserve...
double my stats, please.
Fuck off. That can be an alignment thing. I'll allow that. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, hear me out. All right. Alignments have prayers on them. And then if we want to, right, equipping a certain alignment also augments like some of the prayers that you existing prayers that you have.
Okay. That's definitely an idea.
That's a dangerous precedent, but it is a space, right? Like you could do something with that.
I feel like
maybe having the Serenist one just makes preserve 100% longer instead of 50% longer.
Yeah, I'd be...
As long as we're not like, all right, guys, equipping this one gives you these prayers, but that doesn't actually matter. It makes your DPS 1,000,000 times higher.
Yeah. I'd be worried about, there's
like,
not a lot of design space with that, because, like, all of it's just going to be, like, it makes X damage prayer do better damage, or, you know...
I mean, maybe you have like the, whatever alignment is the skilling alignment, and it also just happens to do that. Because putting a different version of preserve on that one seems kind of weird. I guess you could do it, but it does seem a bit odd. And then also indicating that, whatever alignment you have augments X prayer on the prayer book would also be kind of a challenge. Does it have like a different icon while you have that one equipped? Who knows?
I feel like a better way to like buff preserve would be to have like a scroll that you can get that'll make it better.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Like a piece of content you can do in the future, maybe a quest that makes it'd be weird if there's a quest reward that made a raid reward better.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? Is you get into this kind of weirdness where like
it would make sense if preserve was a quest reward, because then we could be like, oh, it's just like it's like the ancient staff upgrade to the ancient scepter. But no, it's a raid reward, so we can't do that.
Yeah, no. But that's another...
it doesn't actually need a buff. I'm just huffing my own farts.
Another thing that I think is interesting to talk about this is, right, like all these different theoretical god alignments that you can have. There's all kinds of different ways you can unlock these, Some of them maybe you'd unlock with a scroll. Some of them maybe you'd unlock from a quest. Who knows?
Yeah.
You could make all... And, maybe there's certain ones that as long as you can get to X location, you can...
I imagine it would unlock from like a big quest related to like the God Wars dungeon or something. Yeah. I mean, clearly, all these aren't related to the God Wars. Like Zerishian and... the
Guthix Zarek one, the Tumecan one, Guthix. That's really it. Saren as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe those can be unlocked via their own respective quests. Or maybe there's some quests that we can, for some reason, have all the gods involved.
Maybe we get the Tumecan one from the next desert quest where we finally fucking go to Sophanim.
Yeah.
Whatever. Menephos is the one we don't go to right now.
Yeah. Sophanim we already go to. Which I've learned, it's just the same place but spelled backwards, and I feel really dumb. Just, with the PH the right way both times.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe it took me so long to learn that. Yeah, no. I feel like this idea should have been thought of sooner. I think it's that good of an idea.
Yeah, I think they got just too caught up in new prayer book because RS3 did that, because our spell books do that, because it's already like a set precedent.
Sounds flashy too. You know, we're getting the first ever new prayer book, right?
Yeah,
that's like something you can.
It was the hype announcement at the summit.
I think the hype announcement was a new skill.
I disagree.
The Summer Summit, one of the summits.
I still think Desert Treasure 2 was the most hype announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still super excited about Desert Treasure 2.
Yeah, I think the quest is still going to be good.
I mean, we're still
the
getting...
bosses hopefully are still interestingly designed.
Yeah,
like I said,
I'm still getting 4 bosses, 4
I'm still
new
upset
rings.
about Virtus.
Yeah, we're still getting Virtus, the new attachments to the scepter, and we're getting the soul axe thing.
Yeah,
like there's still a lot coming with the quest,
but getting the prayer book taken away, it does feel like it's been.
It dampens the mood for sure.
Because realistically, if you think about it, we're still getting roughly the same amount of rewards from a quest of this tier that we would be from any other quest of this tier.
Yeah, we're just not getting
the insane thing that we originally were promised that made everybody excited about this to begin with.
Yeah, I still want the vows. The vows were like the coolest part about it to me.
Yeah, but only 2 of them were like particularly good.
Yeah, Shadow was good.
50%'s a failing grade.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. You're right. Really, it was only 2 of them I cared about.
Fumis was cool as well, but I went into it last time. Its original concept was kind of cool, but I think they were unwilling to put in the work to make it function as they wanted it to.
Yeah.
And make it.
We kind of forgot about Pole 79 changes. We didn't really talk about that at the start.
I mean, there's nothing really going on here. We can move to that. Yeah. We've kind of exhausted Ruinous Powers. Desert Treasure's coming out probably next month, maybe the month after, if I were to guess. Mm-hmm. I think it was originally slated for July. I don't actually know where that date comes from, but I heard that at some point. But I don't know if that's a real date. And I'm pretty excited for it. There's still a lot of upgrades coming. The upgrades to the rings are probably the most significant. Virtus robes are cool, but in my opinion, still not as cool as they were.
Yeah.
Anyways, Pole 79 changes. This week's game update.
Yes. So the main big thing is that we are changing the way... Sorry, I'm hiccuping.
Don't do that.
So the main thing that's come with this is, for most accounts, is the Swamp Bark and the Blood Bark armor are now buffed. I mean, most accounts don't use it, but most accounts don't care about the other change that came. But so the Swamp Bark now is it binds longer. That's a thing. No one uses Swamp Bark.
Yeah, it
Swamp
already
Bark's
did that, but now it binds longer.
Yeah. The Blood Bark actually is kind of a nice change. It's better than Mystics now. It also heals more. So it heals 10% instead of 5% more. But now, Blood Bark isn't a total meme set of armor.
It also only heals 10%. I don't think it has gloves, but you have to be wearing a hat, top, bottom, and boots.
No,
there are 5 pieces. I think there are gloves. Because it's 2% per piece. And total 10%. So.
Okay, yeah, they only changed it so you don't need the boots and the gloves of Swamp Bark. The Blood Bark, I think you still do need the...
Yeah, Blood Bark's biggest benefit is the increase in healing from blood spells. With today's piece, with today's update, each piece will give increased 2% effectiveness up from 1.5. So, allowing you to heal an initial 10%. So 2 times 5 is 10%. So there are 5 pieces.
But I mean, if you just wear the top and bottom, if you're wearing a melee helm or whatever at a raid, then it's 4% instead of 3%.
No way you're using blood spells at raids.
Okay, well, fair. At Monkey Room if you fuck up, but
I guess.
I don't think you do it in Cox though.
No,
because you don't.
And you can do it in theater at Maiden,
Nilo's.
but
maybe
you're freezing. You're probably freezing.
Yeah,
You're just put out DPS, freezing. Man.
But I mean, like, you're also wearing blood
you're probably not wearing blood bark.
But like, if you're a mid game account and you're doing like, I don't know,
I see this being useful at like DKs.
Yeah.
Instead of using Mystics, you bring these and get a little more healing.
I mean, they're better than Mystics now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like,
there's literally no disadvantage.
Yeah.
Do it. Wear them.
It's good.
Cool.
Good change.
I might get these. We'll see.
This change, I don't understand the hype for. The escape crystal.
I didn't read this. So, I don't care.
Yeah, okay. So, this is for hardcore Ironmen. You get the crystal from Verzik. And
is this the shit where it, like, teleports you when you go idle?
Yeah, so you can configure it.
I remember we were talking
to a minimum of 5 seconds idle to, like, a couple minutes idle, and it will automatically teleport you. And it's just like... But... Okay.
I just can't wait for people to accidentally teleport out of stuff with this.
Yeah. Just I can't wait to go watch RS Chronicles or Vihi and see people just fucking teleporting out of raids because they are attacking a boss but not interacting with the screen. Interacting with the screen doesn't even count. You have to be clicking. Clicking is the only way to do it. Rotating your camera right now doesn't work. And like, moving your mouse on the screen doesn't work. You actually have to click things.
I can understand why moving your mouse on the screen doesn't work.
They say they want to change that.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want that because, well, I don't know.
Although in a few weeks, we'll expand that definition to rotating the camera or actively mousing over the screen.
Actively mousing over the screen is probably fine for this instance. But I think there was something else that they had been talking about where... they would make it so that mousing over, makes it so you don't count as idle. And I can't remember exactly what I was thinking about, but I was like, I don't know that I'd want mousing over the screen counting as me not being idle anymore. I don't know.
Why would you not want that?
I remember I had a specific instance where I was like, this is why I wouldn't want that, but I can't remember it now, so it probably doesn't matter.
You're wrong.
Fuck you. You're wrong.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like you have to configure this to be so long so you don't accidentally get teleported in the middle of like doing Baba or something, you know? Like, unless you're like actively like red Xing or you're like running around the Verzik or something. Like, if you're just like idly hitting a boss, you're gonna get fucking teleported. And it's gonna be annoying.
Maybe once they make the, seeing your mouse is moving around the screen, sure. But
yeah,
let's be honest. There are some things that are dangerous that we get, too complacent with. We recline a little bit. And if you forgot about your teleport crystal settings, see you later. And that's how hardcores die anyways, is they get complacent and then they die.
Yeah, you can also toggle it to be a Ring of Life, which is cool. Because now you can have a Ring of Life in your inventory rather than having to always wear one.
That's OP.
Yeah.
Can't believe that they would make it so that hardcores are allowed to wear actual rings instead of Rings of Life.
Yeah.
It's power creep for hardcores. This is OP.
I think it's fine.
Remove hardcores.
I know you're being sarcastic, but I think it's fine.
I think they should remove the hardcore game mode.
I agree. Hardcore is a meme game mode. Changed my mind. I don't know. I saw people being like, I'm going to make a hardcore now because of this change. And I was like, really? The escape crystal is what was preventing you from doing that? You didn't have a teleport that would teleport you out in inconvenient times? I don't know,
man. Just don't play a hardcore. That's my advice.
Yeah, there were some other small changes this week. The other things, I thought this was already in the game, but wearing a gas mask, face mask, or Slayer helmet next prevents you from getting infected by coughs. So, new meta, just wear a face mask and lose your damage from your helm, because helms are a joke in this game. if you're doing masses and you don't want to get coughed. Zealot's robes now work at the bone meal thing. Cool. At the Ectofunctus.
Permanent access at Volcanic Mine. Let's go.
Cool, I'm glad I'm done with Volcanic Mine for that change.
Sucks to be you. Nobody asked.
But, yeah, I mean, it's cool. Also, I thought this was already in the game, but I guess it was just from the poll. That's probably what I'm remembering. The Phoenix Pet.
You know how much work they had to do to add this to the game? This needed to be delayed this long. This is a very difficult change to add.
Yeah, getting 200 mil XP in a skill makes it so you have a 15 times chance to get that skilling pet. And let's be honest, firemaking is just Wintertodd. So, the Phoenix Pet is the firemaking pet. So it's now 15 times more likely.
I don't know, man. They tried to add those bonfires in forestry. That was a big problem.
Yeah, I don't understand the outrage from that. Like, I don't understand the outrage. You got half the XP per log. Or like a quarter or something.
Yeah. You got 3/4 the XP. That's very powerful.
Okay, well,
It's not powerful. If you thought the bonfires were a bad addition to the game, I'm sorry, man. You're dumb. It's a dumb...
Yeah,
okay, no, you're not dumb. But that opinion of yours is very dumb.
It's very dumb. Yeah.
I probably still like you. Probably.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought there were some other changes. There were. It's just...
Ultimate Ironman power creep?
Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Ironman got some new stash unit stuff. Abyssal Tentacle, Guardian Boots, and Primordial Boots in the stash units. I'm not a UIM. I don't give a fuck.
I think there's people that are upset about this. I think we were talking about it when Life was on, but I don't care. I don't ever want to play Ultimate Ironman, so...
I mean, yeah, the stash, or the spice rack thing is just...
That one should have just been in the game. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's back when, like, people were like, oh, UIM shouldn't be allowed to store anything anywhere. So, spice racks, obviously they gotta go get fucking spice every goddamn time they want to do it. Like, that's stupid.
Also, if you want to play as an Ultimate Ironman that isn't allowed to store anything anywhere, just do that.
Yeah. But if you scroll down, there's the other changes section. This is the actual good changes of this update. Holy, these changes are so good. So this change, the first one had some unintended consequences. If you die in PVM in the wilderness, you will create a death pile that will stay there for an hour. It will not follow you. However, it will continue to stay there for an hour, while previously it would despawn, like normal items would despawn, which is not consistent how death piling works. But, of course, PvPers saw that and started drooling, because now you can death pile in the Rev Caves and have just unlimited food on the ground for, an hour while you just wait for people to hop to you.
It's pretty funny.
I mean, it's very funny, but I loaded up a Dino stream, and there was just jokes of people being like, haha, bet he death piled for food. It's like, yeah, I'm sure people are doing that.
I'm sure there legitimately are people doing it, but they're probably few and far between, because that sounds like a pain in the ass.
Yeah. So that'll probably get changed, I imagine.
Oh, this is huge. Rune pouches now keep their contents when the owner dies outside of PvP? What the...
This is like the biggest change. This is huge.
That's so
it's massive.
Nice.
I've already experienced it because I'm bad at the game, but we died at Atoa and I kept all my runes. So this is like, oh.
I haven't experienced it yet, but the few times I'd actually die at Zulrah, I'd have to, you withdraw your stuff from the death storage, and it's like, oh, well... Gotta withdraw my rune pouch first because it's at the end of the list of your runes. So I need to go make sure I get the rune pouch first and then grab the runes so I can put them in.
Yeah, it was a pain.
That's nice.
I always just hit withdraw all, and then I had to drop pots or something to be able to make space.
Now we just need to make it so it equips stuff when you withdraw all. Just automatically equips what you were wearing.
And then also give us loadouts or something.
Yeah, equipment loadouts would be really nice. I remember they talked about this. Maybe during the game jam or some other time, but I remember they talked about like some kind of method at which you could create like loadouts that also included like your stuff that you had stored in your POH costume room. And I was like, that sounds sick.
Yeah, it'd be very nice. Apparently the Twisted Bow, the item I totally own, was bugged at Warden's, and it was just not calculating its accuracy bonus. So it's just treating it as if it had like no mage levels, and you just didn't hit anything against the P2 Warden, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, sucks for Tebow users, I guess.
P2 Warden also will no longer delete itself if you freeze it right when it spawns.
Didn't they fix this already? Wasn't this an issue before?
Yes, and it still continued to be an issue.
That's funny.
Yeah. So now it's double fixed. And the rest of it doesn't really matter.
You're telling me that Dragon and Barrow's Gloves no longer being prioritized over Infernal Cape on death protection? It doesn't matter?
Yeah, the thing I have.
Just get an Infernal Cape, bro.
Oh,
you're a main with $1 billion.
I don't
just
even have... One. Nope, that's not close to my
Don't tell me,
value.
I don't have a Twisted Bow.
I don't have a Twisty B.
You don't need one.
I know I don't need one.
Just go do it.
But I'm maxing.
No, just go do it. Come on.
Yeah, I'll just one and done it. Don't mind me. The real news of this week actually was Crack the Clue got solved.
Oh, did that happen?
So, yeah, maybe we can finally stop getting the fucking cryptic clue things at the end of every poll. Or every blog. Yeah. The final step needs like 28 items in your inventory. You have to dig in a specific spot, and then you have to go to the West Varrock Bank, do like 17 emotes in a row, and then you get to go into the Varrock Bank, like underneath.
That's hilarious.
And then and then they have all the item pieces there. And you also get a money bag that generates 1 GP per tick every time you click it.
That's OP.
Yep. It's called the Infinite Money Bag.
We're gonna get bots that just click on that money bag. They're gonna be so powerful.
I mean, how many ticks are in an hour?
Not enough. It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's
being a shithead.
Wait. I think there's a page on the wiki for this. Infinite Money Bag. Yeah, there's a money making guide. You get 5,900 GP per hour.
That's insane. That's so powerful. That's better than Gauntlet. I gotta go get this right now.
Yeah. So if you want to go get the Robes of Ruin, they look pretty sick. You need 28 specific items in your inventory. I don't know if they need to be in a specific order, but they're all free-to-play items, so you can go do that. Nothing's particularly expensive or hard to obtain. I think these. I
remember
all have
one of them
item
is
spawns.
purple dye.
Yeah, you need purple dye, fish food, poison fish food, a bunch of other bullshit. Yeah, and then you have to go do 17 emotes in a row. And then you get teleported into the Varrock West Bank. And that's pretty cool. You can finally go grab that ruby ring that we've all wanted since we were kids.
Finally. That goes hard, honestly.
Yeah.
I love how I was reminded of this recently when I was going to get my cooking cape when I got 99 cooking.
Mm-hmm.
There's, on the Varrock West Bank on the upper floor, you know how there's the door that leads to the downstairs area, right?
Yeah.
On the other side of the bank, there's another door that would lead into like the tellers, area.
Mm-hmm.
The left click on that door is not open. It is knock. And you can knock on the door.
Oh,
and it has various dialogue options. And I was reminded that existed. And I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing. It's been a childhood dream of being able to break in there and get all the money. So now you finally can. But I think that's everything this week. Unless you have anything else you want to talk about.
You should be able to combine the money sack with the scroll sack or whatever. And it should just automatically generate 1 GP per game tick. You don't have to click on it.
That'd be busted. 5,900
so
GP an hour. Like, there's mobs. I don't think there's any NPC in the game you could kill that would generate you less money per hour. Because, like, bones alone would be more, you know?
Yeah, it's OP, actually. It's too good.
Yeah.
It's insane. We're always talking about how we need money sinks in this game, and we're literally creating an item that generates infinite gold. Like, what? Come on, Jagex. What the heck?
All right. So, if you liked hearing our dumbasses speak to you, there's a follow button probably, or a like or a subscribe on whatever podcast or YouTube
smash that like
you're
button.
To.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hammer that fucking subscribe button. Just beat the shit out of it.
Just, abuse it and
absolutely grab the largest object you have near you and just swing it as hard as you can at the notification bell.
Yep. You can also follow us on Twitter at GuthixRustPod on Twitter. Very cool. We also have our personal Twitters linked below, but we use those far less. There's also a Patreon. That is going to be patreon.com/GuthixRest if you want to support the podcast, get the episodes early. I'm going to hopefully get back on track of getting those out early on Mondays for people.
Yeah, you need to get it back on track, man.
Yeah, I was delayed a day again, and last week I was delayed by 2 days. Yeah.
I would never be delayed by a day.
Never. Yeah, if you want to donate on Patreon, you may do so, or if you want to do a one-time donation, you can do so via Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/GuthixRest. I think just GuthixRest. I could be wrong. Just doing some live Googling. Yeah, just GuthixRest. We also have a Discord link down below. And if you want to join the Discord, we do live recordings in there where you can hop in and hear our dumb voices speak live.
You could have been in this voice call right now.
Yeah, you could be here right now commenting.
I don't know why you'd want to listen to this part, but you could be here.
Also, like, we don't really have any perks for the Patreon. But, like, one of the perks could be I could just, like, read your names out loud. People like that, right? I don't know. I know I've done that just because I'm like, I want to get my name in the video. So, yeah, to follow us on Twitter. I think that's all the shoutouts that I need to do. I forgot to do it last week, so I'm just
sure
phoning it in.
Doing it. That's not my problem.
It's not your problem.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. See you guys later.
Bye!